Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly overview powered by Fundamental Street. So let's jump in. Here we have the news events that we are looking at for this week that will be a probable catalyst for us to capitalize on. So on Monday, Tuesday, we have pretty much soft data from the US and the Euro, and we have a PMIs. On Wednesday, we have the FOMC interest rate decision, which is set to hold rates at 4.5%. But here the interesting part will be what will be the comments of the Fed Chair Powell. Are they gonna say the data is strong and we're trusting the data and we're relying on the next data, or they will be more dovish and say that okay, data is slowing down, but we still have room to hold rates, or we need to cut rates in the next couple of meetings. So all eyes on the comments. On Thursday we have UK interest rate decision set to come down at 25 basis points, coming to 4.25, and we have the initial jobless claim in the United States. On Friday we have Canada unemployment 6.7%, staying still. And yeah, I picked out 5 pairs for this week that, based on my understanding of markets, based on the news, based on macronomics, based on technicals, are high probability setups for me this week, and I will go over them right now one by one. So we have Euro dollar, Aussie dollar, pretty much the same trade. And let me start from dollar first. On Friday, at the NFP release, we had like a mixed data, higher than expected, lower than previous. Dollar sold off at the release, but quickly gained those losses back. However, I am still on the stance that dollar will revisit again this 99 handle before doing whatever, but I could be wrong and it could go to 1-2 before coming back here. So at the beginning of the week I will be looking for a risk on scenario, and as said in Macronomics, because we have nothing good going for dollar at the moment except for this FOMC, which is set to hold rate, but a lot of investors are doubling down on later cuts in the year. So we will see what the comments will be from the Fed, but in the meantime we are staying risk on with dollar lower. When we are at Macronomics, what Macronomics does for you is collects the data that every central bank depends on and dissects it in a way that it shows you which currency is weaker versus which currency is stronger in the markets. So if you want to understand fundamentals much deeper, and if you want an actionable guidance based on fundamentals, you should consider joining Macronomics. And that's why I picked Euro dollar, Aussie dollar buys for the first part of the week. And as we can see here, it's lining up very nicely at the moment. Monday, Tuesday, we have like a nice break of structure here to the upside, meeting these resistance levels, but here we are again inside our area of interest. And based on the macronomics, we have like euro stronger than dollar, which gives us that buy signal. We have that possible weak, possible dovish Fed on Wednesday, and until then we will be looking to capitalize on euro dollar buys. Similar to that is Aussie dollar, with the difference that Aussie made a clear break here, and if we have a revisit back to 64, we will be looking for buys again. Macronomics gives us a pretty clear picture of where these currencies stand in terms of relative value, in terms of actual data released until now. Next, we have euro pound buys, and I will explain my pound bias here with this interest rate decision from the UK. So they are set to cut rates by 25 basis points. So up until Thursday, I will be looking for a weakness in the pound, and we can see already here euro pound weaker, GA pound is weaker than euro, pound is weaker than Aussie, hence our euro pound buys and GA sells. Going over euro pound, a massive rejection from this resistance level, but if we get back into here into 0.85, I will be looking to make an entry here, again targeting these resistance levels. And GA is in a similar position with that pound GA smashing the downside, so we will be looking for some kind of a correction into these levels or possibly here. So 2.07, 2.05 will be the areas where I will be looking for shorts in GA, again backed by the interest rate decision set on Thursday and already weaker pound than the Aussie and the euro. Another trade that I mentioned here is Aussie CAD buys, and yeah, this is pretty much gone. So I will be looking at this area 0.88 before even considering it, since it's just broken through the resistance. So yeah, maybe I will wait for something like this to happen, or I will see if it goes straight here. But yeah, this is how I work through every week. I simply go through the economic calendar, go through Macronomics, see which pairs, which currencies to look for, which pairs have the higher probability here, and based on the events, based on the technicals, I pick up the higher probability setups out of the market and narrow down my watch list for the week in order to keep it more clean, to remove the distractions and focus only on what I have prepared for this upcoming week.